Good morning. Good morning, everyone. I hope you've been up and to the gym already. I have. It's been kind of a crazy morning, although it was productive. And my daughter said I need to look at the audience, so I'm on this computer, and I'm wondering if it's because I'm looking into the screen or because I'm not looking at the camera, which is at the top of the screen. So you'll forgive me if I'm not looking directly at you. I'm going to do a couple looks at the top. It's crazy. It's crazy when you're on here. You need to have, honestly, am I looking right at you? Am I looking at the top? The screen, maybe the camera. But a person who is doing this, you need a camera, a live camera and microphone, so it sounds really good. I am going to shut my blinds. Sorry. There's so much to it, you guys. It's crazy. It's crazy. I do have, my neck looks red. I do have one of those round lights now, so hopefully that'll help with the lighting, but I've got a big learning curve, honestly, but I did decide, so I'm going to do an update today. I'm going to talk a little bit about moving forward. This is a new day for me. It's a big change in my life because I am now officially done with my job at the university, which has been highly productive for me and wonderful for me in so many ways. Maybe I'll talk about that another day. But I was able to, at the university, they give you reduced tuition, so that it helped me. I mean, I have now I got my 2 doctors before I went there and traveled overseas, but I was able to get my master's and my higher education doctorate there, leadership. So it's been a phenomenal experience. The last probably 5 or 6 years was harder because I kept trying to get somewhere and I just wasn't getting anywhere. Funny thing is I wasn't supposed to, evidently. So here I am now. Here I am. First day as an official entrepreneur, although I can't say that I've always been an entrepreneur. Like, I've always been, since I was, as long as I can remember. I think probably 3rd grade was when I really started going out and making official money, going door to door selling knickknacks. But from that it was always in me. So are entrepreneurs born or made? I know that it runs in my blood because my grandpa, and that's as far as I know back. My grandpa on my dad's side, actually back when in the Depression, when I think that was in the 30s, when nobody was working, he opened a sawmill up in the mountains and was making a living at that. And then my dad later on opened his own business, electrical contractor. And he was older. Like, I bet you, well, I was already I would say he could have been my age, maybe a little bit younger. And it was phenomenal. I mean, he did great. Both my brothers own their own companies. It does run in our family. So are they born or made? I don't know. I feel like, we must have had that running through our genes because I was very young when I started doing my own businesses. And I can't seem to get away from it. So here I am again. So, and I have a habit. I don't know. I have a habit of looking away when I'm thinking. So I'm looking like this or I'm looking like that. I'm not trying to not look at you guys. Do I look into the camera? Do I look directly at you? I don't know, but forgive me if I'm not always making eye contact. I'm trying to, but I think sometimes I'm thinking, and I need to study the psychology of it. When you're trying to think of an idea, why do you look up to, why do you look to the side? Or why do you look down? Or why am I looking out at the window? Okay, so I've been following Dr. Huberman. I hope I'm saying that right. He's a scientist, a neuroscientist who studies behaviors. He works at Stanford, and he talks about all these things going on with the brain, and I find it fascinating. And so that's one thing I need to know is, well, okay, when you're when you're looking out, what he says is when you're looking at a narrow version, you're looking at your phone, you're looking really narrow, and you're working in here, it puts your mind into a different place. More of, no, I don't know, I think I'm making this up, part of it. You're thinking more productively. So it makes it a little more intense. So you're more intense. When you look out, because I kept trying to think, why I'm always looking out at my window. I'm always looking out into the horizon. So when you're doing that, he would say it automatically puts you at peace. When you look, and it's something to do with your eyes. One thing that I thought was kind of crazy is he says that when we're infants in the womb, our eyeballs actually come out of your sockets. I got to look more into that, but something about your eyes, and that's what he studies. If you get a chance, make sure you go on and look him up because it is so incredibly interesting. Also, while I'm thinking of it, make sure that you subscribe, like, and hit the bell on my videos because I'm here to stay. I'm going to continue to grow and move, but I do need people to subscribe. That's how you start making money on it. It also tells me you want me to keep talking, which I don't know if you have a choice because I'm hooked. So I'm here for the long haul. But subscribe, like, I'll try to remember that every video, but I have been forgetting it. So tell your friends, spread the word as much as you can. So I told myself I was doing the reason I started on all this journey is I was doing 100 videos in 100 days. It was an unstoppable influencer challenge. Nastasia Hazlitt changed my life. I have to post on her webpage. I'm trying to get going in my business. I might need help from her later on, but because I got to build a website, I've got to start building a curriculum. I'm going to do a 21-day challenge, motivational challenge. I have a lot to do, but what I did decide that I need to do is come on here every day and make a video a day and start spreading the word, right? So today's the first day. Today is my day of freedom, I feel like. So, but I decided I'm going to do a video every day. I'm going to make myself do that because when I was doing 100 videos in 100 days, which I did on Facebook Live, it made me stay committed. And I really miss that. I miss when you have to do something every day, when you have this, and it's almost like you have to set it up, like you have to set the goal up. And when I tell you guys, it makes it more real. So when I do that for myself, I stay with it. Same with announcing I'm going to do a bodybuilding competition in the summer. There's many times that part of me is like, well, maybe you don't want to do that. You know, you've already posted bikini videos. That was the big thing. But I told everybody, so now I have to do it. I don't know. So I'm going to do an update on that today too. But yeah, because yesterday was my last day at work, I wanted to talk about sort of some of the things that's going through my mind because a lot of what I'm talking about is moving forward. And this was a big transition for me, a very, very big transition. And so I want to talk about what I'm going through. And I think it's because I'm hoping by setting my example, other people do it, because it's been very enriching for me. But I'm not going to lie, there's a lot of other emotions that go through it. There's a lot of things that go through your head, and you're like, what the heck are you doing this for? But one of the main things that I feel like it's doing right now, and I don't know if I want to say I'm feeling very vulnerable, although I think that's part of it. What I'm really feeling is this incredibly deep connection to my higher power. And it's only because I put myself, I've been at the university for 14 years, and it was it was security. It was very secure for me. I got retirement, I got insurance, do education, all of those things. And it was very secure, and part of it is where I'm at in my age. You want to be secure. 4 months ago, I wasn't ready to do this. I was looking for other jobs at universities, but I've been changed. So here I am, and I'm talking about it because it's also been very good for me. And I'm just going to list off some of the, something's happening. Oh, okay. Something about not updating the video. So I'm not sure what that means, you guys. I think I'm still live. Not sure what's happening. So, what am I going through? So a lot of my dissertation was on change and the grief cycle, right? And what I did is I did a study at our university because we had a new president. And because I had gone through so much change and grief when I lost my husband, I thought it would be a very good study about what senior leaders were experiencing because they had a new university president. We all did. And we felt it at every level. There was a lot of fear, but it follows the Kubler-Ross. So Kubler-Ross was a scientist, a doctor, and she studied terminally ill patients, studied their cycle through when they were diagnosed to their, when they passed away. And she came up with the grief cycle that followed everything they were experiencing through this whole period of time. Now, over time, it's changed into what they call a change model. And not just universities, corporations, business leaders use it, and I think positively, or they should be using it to understand what's happening to their employees as they go through some kind of major change. So hiring a new president is a major change. And a lot of the studies that I followed showed that it's happening more and more, that university presidents don't stay as long as they used to. And so a lot more are, and you're talking about a major university, right? So you're affecting a lot of people. So because I'm going through this major change right now, I wanted to kind of liken it a little bit to the grief cycle. And so what am I thinking right now? What am I thinking? I've had a lot of anxiety, even yesterday when, it was my last day, and everybody was saying congratulations. And, for the most part, they're kind of going, because I did an early retirement and I'm still pretty young. So I couldn't legally retire. I didn't make this certain rule where I got full retirement. I got about honestly, I could work another 11 years. But to, get Social Security and everything, I still have another 5 at least. So And I'm a worker, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't see myself like I feel like I just got my doctorate. I feel like I'm just starting my career, you know? I'm working this whole time. So what am I feeling? What am I going through? And I don't like feelings. I'm not a feeling person, but there's a lot going on right now. So I'm just going to say sort of what I'm going through. So maybe you'll be brave enough to do it. One of the biggest things is I feel this incredibly huge connection right now to my higher power because I feel because of the anxiety and the feeling of yikes, I've got to get money coming in. I've had a steady income now for a while. Um, it's scary, right? But it's also I feel like this huge um, connection because I have to depend on my higher power. And when I do my moving forward, I talk about a foundation and how important it is. And I want to do some deep studying into that, just to understand, different what does the foundation mean, and to dig really deep into that. And I'm going to be doing that maybe tomorrow with my moving forward. But today I just wanted to talk a little bit about what I am feeling. So a deep connection to my higher power. My higher power is God. Um, he's gotten me through so much. I'm incredibly loyal. He got me through. I'm gonna be incredibly loyal to him. I'll never stray there. I do need to learn a lot more though. So some of the things I'm feeling right now is a big amount of relief because I was sort of drowning in the job I was in. Don't get me wrong, someone else is going to be thrilled. Senior accountant, finance, all of those things. It was good to me, and it'll be good to someone else. But I personally was drowning in it. It as I went through my day. By the end of the day, I had nothing. I had no passion left. I had no creativity. I'm a very people-oriented person. I didn't really work with people at all. It was all about numbers, and so it drained me. I felt I've been stuck in this place for probably 6 years, and that's why I got my doctorate, because I always need to be creating. I always need to be learning, um, growing, adventures, things like that. And so I had to get out of that place, but it wasn't it was not an easy decision. So part of me feels a huge amount of relief that I don't have to go and sit in that job every day and just be stuck, right? So relief, I'm happy. Um, there is a part of me that is calm. So I was thinking of that when I was at the gym this morning. I didn't have to get up at 3:30 anymore. I actually got up at 4:45. I didn't have to hurry and get out. I could take my time and not worry about rushing. I stopped by my favorite restaurant this morning, and to see my favorite waitress who wasn't in. Darn it! I missed you, Melissa, if you're listening to this. But I was able to. There's this huge, I don't know, a part of calm. How do you have calm and anxiety in the same place? Because I think part of me is going through shock. That's the first thing in the grief cycle is shock. So when there's a big change in your life, and this is big for me. So I think there's it wasn't as big as losing my husband. That one was a different kind of shock. That was the kind of shock where you just get hit in the head and you're like walking around in a circle. This is a shock though, because part of me is not sure how to move forward, except one day at a time. There's a lot of things going through my mind, like selling my home or renting my home and getting an RV or getting a silver trailer and I know that I'm going to be traveling in the summer. So there's a lot of those things going around. Is there anger? Nope. So I'm not feeling a lot of anger. Part of me is already accepting it, which is the last part of the grief cycle. So your shock and anger, depression and things are right away. And you're kind of fighting through that. And then you do this curve and then you go up to accepting and moving forward. So part of me is in that place. But I do keep going back and forth, and that's how grief is. Like you go, which is change. Any kind of change is also, you're going to experience some grief. So if you identify that, which I have now, then I know what I'm going through, and I can just sort of slow down, not being in a hurry, and take my time and know that I will come to what I need. I will come to the right decision. That's just how I am. I am an entrepreneur. So I'm feeling very independent as well. Very independent, very proud of myself for putting myself out there and making the commitment to start my own business, which Dr. Huberman would also say is I got a lot of dopamine running through my system. So just by doing this, just by saying I'm getting on here, my dopamine is rewarding me, which is good. I like it. Part of me is feeling a sense of freedom. I talked to my son last night. He called me and congratulated me. And it helped. It helped to hear that. He's like, just enjoy yourself. You've worked so hard your whole life. And I have. I've worked my way. And why didn't I see that? I don't know. I think because I'm always striving for more. Like, I never feel like I've reached it. I've reached that place of saying, just relax and enjoy it. But so when he told me that, I kind of started thinking about it. I'm like, geez, you have done a lot. You've done a lot. 2 bachelors with a minor, bachelor's of business admin, bachelor's of arts and sciences, international studies, minor in international commerce. I went to Japan on an overseas study. Then I did a master's with my daughter. We graduated together. And then I did a full doctorate in a pretty six-year period, going through the grief of my husband in the middle of it. Just staying at the university as long as I did. I was there 13, almost 14 years, and 6 of them I was pretty miserable, I'll be honest. It was nobody's fault. Nobody's. They were good to me there. So good. That's how I got my degrees. They were so good to me, but I was just in the wrong job for me. I need to be able to create, and I'm an entrepreneur. I need to be thinking and discovering new things and all the time. And so I'm also feeling creative again. It's pretty exciting. And then adventurous. I love adventure. I love it. Absolutely love it. So one of my adventures is this summer to do a Dr. Mom mobile. And so I've got to think through some of that. It starts the end of May. And part of that is knowing whether I sell my house or I rent it out. I'm working on the remodel, which I'll talk about as well. I'm feeling motivated again. But then on the flip side, I'm feeling a little overwhelmed. So positive and proud, all those things, As you can tell, I'm I'm quickly moving from the grief cycle, so the shock and sort of going like, oh, what the heck are you doing? To acceptance and transition. So I'm sort of flipping back and forth between the two. And that's not unusual, okay? When you go through transition or losing someone, or, there's different realms of it. Losing your business, financial hardship, could be legal matters, could be a lot of things. Expect to go through that, expect to go through that whole cycle of things, because you will. You will. But like I said, I'm going to grow tremendously. I would recommend it to anyone because it's going to be huge, huge. I feel like I'm going to be growing closer to my higher power, my spirituality. I have more time to study now. I need to get back to studying and building that foundation again. Building those. I like to think of it as the roots of a tree, a big tree, which I just finished taking this. Oh, I'm going to say it was at least 50-foot tree out of my front yard. It grew pretty quick. Somebody was taking care of it. But since I've been here, it was huge. So it was, oh my goodness. I'm going to say the trunk's got to be all of 3 feet round in full diameter, if that makes sense. If not 4, it was so big. I couldn't move the stumps. It was so big. And so I hired somebody to come take it out for me. And now there's this huge, big root system. So the roots eventually grew through my concrete and things, and that's why I took it out. But I feel that way with someone building a foundation. The more you feed it, after I got here, I started watering it more, and it was growing even bigger. The more you water your foundation, the more the roots will set in, right? And they'll hold you when you need them to. And so that's why a foundation is so important. And that's what's happening to me right now. Because I have the anxiety and fear and sort of not understanding the future, right? All those things. I'm really counting. It always goes back to me, my foundation, thinking, but God has my back. He's led me to, I know he has. I know he has led me to this. So he also has my back, and wonderful things are going to be happening, and I have to, I rely on that. I don't have to, but I know it. And that's one thing that my son reminded me of. God's got your back. He didn't bring you this far to let you go. He has you. And the more I relax in that comfort, the more I've always been in this hurry to do things myself, right? I don't have to do that anymore. Just do what you love. Keep doing this. Just start being creative, relax, and start enjoying where you're at. Enjoy every day. Quit moving into the next day or pre-planning ahead or doing things on my own. Just start enjoying this moment. When I do that, it helps me to calm down and know that I'm okay. So that's kind of the things I wanted to talk about. Some of the things that I've been thinking of, because I'm pretty goal oriented, is I'm like, I do need to write down some lists of what I need to get accomplished in a day. So my thoughts are, I've been watching Ed too, and he's incredible on YouTube. If you ever get the chance, look at him too. He talks about how an entrepreneur can do 6 hours in a day. 6 hours. I don't know, from 6 to noon to 6, whatever. But I already know that. I already know how to build a business. You know what I mean? So for me, this is kind of my thoughts. I'm going to work 6 hours in the business, Make some lists on what I want to get accomplished, because I need to build a web page. I need to write a curriculum. I need to start writing a manuscript, practicing how to, run the series, things like that, because I'm going to do a 21-day challenge. Set my goals and set my priorities in that. But also, the next part of the day, I'm going to work on my remodel project, my kitchen, because I do need to get it done. And I've got to run a new circuit for my microwave is my next step. I just finished my kitchen sink. I had help with the plumbing and the cutting. My son and then my good friend Walt next door came over and helped me with the plumbing part. I got it all connected, so now I've got to move into the microwave. Move on to the microwave. And I think I'm good. I always say that, though. I always say going into it, you got this. I've watched enough YouTube videos that you got this. It's never as easy as I anticipate, though. So I'll just take my time. I'll get through it. And I can't ask for help if I want. So I'll ask. Walt already told me he would help me if I needed some help. So I'm good. It's a big learning curve for me. So I'm a little overwhelmed at that thought. But then this is what I've always, in the past, I've always done this. When I'm writing a big paper, when I'm doing a dissertation, when I was in my doctorate degree, I always found that through the years, and that's why education's so important, I feel like. I've always found that sort of when you're anxious going into it and you don't know what you're doing, I've always said, but Kathy, you do this. You do this. At first it's a learning curve, but then you know what? You always finish it. You always do. You figure it out. You figure it out as you go. And so I try to tell myself that when I'm going into something that overwhelms me. It's a little overwhelming building a business, shooting YouTube videos, posting, tweeting, getting into TikTok, all these things, Instagram, and I'm learning from others, but it is a step. It's a learning curve. It makes you a little anxious, but I've got it. If I can work my way through a dissertation, I've got this. This is going to be a fun part of my life, right? It's going to be a fun one. So I got this. And that's kind of all I had on sort of all I'm going through right now. It's a new day. It's an exciting time. And I would challenge anyone else to do it. If you want to learn and grow, if you want to evolve, if you want to move forward in your life, do some things that scare the bejeebers out of you. Do the things that make you move out of your comfort zone. And you can do it. You can do it. So that's where I'm at. Now, I thought I would update my bodybuilding as well. I've been working on a new training program. My eating is going well. I'm able to maintain on where I'm at. I did get a nice compliment today that my face was slimming down, which is, I think, even though I haven't lost any more weight, I've been staying about what I am. It's strange because I think when you're burning body fat, and because I've changed my routine up, my trainer has written me new programs. So I'm on a new program right now. And because of that, I think I am losing body fat my shirts are starting to feel looser and my jeans and things are fitting me differently. Although it's not showing on the scale as much. So I'm pretty inspired by that. I'm going to keep going. I have thought about because my shoulders have been hurting a little bit, I've thought about doing a 3-day fast, which I love. Fasting, my body absolutely loves it. I lose so well with it. so well. And it also gives you a lot of clarity, like when you're thinking and talking, which I need right now. And I'm going to try looking at the camera and see if it looks like, again. So bodybuilding is going well. I will set up an appointment in another week or maybe 2 weeks, to have him measure my body fat. Now, somebody asked me, what are you going to do if you're going mobile in the summer? How are you going to keep working out? I have thought about that. So I don't know. I go to Gold's right now. I don't know if at Gold's you can go to other cities and still use the program without paying more. I would say you probably can't. You have to be into that individual gym as a membership. But so I'm kind of looking at Planet Fitness as well, because they're kind of everywhere and it's a lower price. I'm going to be on a budget for a while, you know. But so when they ask me, what are you going to do? I'll continue working out. There's gyms everywhere. I can work out. You can work out doing just at home. You know what I mean? So I'll keep working towards that goal. I don't think it's going to happen as soon as I thought. You know, I figured, well, I'll just start working out and by summer I can compete. But I don't think it's as easy as I anticipated. So I'll keep working towards it. I'm not done. And I could do some fasting and see if that tightens, you know, I lose the body fat quicker, but I'm going to keep working towards it. My house remodel, like I said, I kind of updated you already on that. It's coming along. It's harder than I anticipated, but I've always been into that. Like, I always jump into something thinking it's going to be super easy, and then I start going, oh, this isn't as easy. And then I get done, and I'm like, well, okay, I've done that. I don't have to do it again. So that reminds me of we have a local bike race for women. It's called Spinderella. And I started it a few years back. My daughter got me into it. And I bought a new bike and started riding. And the first year I did 22 miles. And then the next year, or 2 years after that, I started riding with a bike club in town. Barry's, by the way, who's a phenomenal business owner, but phenomenal. So he organizes this Tuesday night ride, and probably anywhere from 20 to 50 or even more riders show up at his place at 6 o'clock. We all go on a ride together. And when they say they're not competitive, that's not true, because you feel like you have to stay up with them, and it always is good for me. It builds, by the way, good, very nice calf muscles for you bodybuilders who need calf muscles. It's great. So I started with the Sperry's group, and I met another lady who was doing Spinderella. And don't ask me why, but she's like, let's do the 75 miler. Mind you, I've only done 25 at this point. And that's how I operate. Me as an adventurer, I'm like, okay, let's do 75. What was I thinking? I was only riding once a week, 20, maybe 18 miles, maybe 24. Occasionally we would do 30. But no, I'm going to do 75 miles. I did it. It was very educational, very, very educational. You kind of get out to where you're going out of town. I don't know, all the signs, we didn't know where we were. We hadn't gone and ride it. We planned on it. We didn't know where we were going. You end up, when you go 75 miles, you end up kind of on these back roads. On the worst part of it, or worst, I don't know, I made it. But the worst or best part of it, or maybe even where you grow the most, was the last 20 miles. It was hot. It's in June, I believe. I'm going to say by the time 4 hours later, how long it took us, it was probably 75, 80. And we didn't have enough water by then. It didn't seem like there was as many stops as there was on the first part of the miles. Probably because the majority of people do it and the serious riders do that. But I have to say, my friend and I were really cussing. We were really unhappy the last 20 miles. We couldn't find shade. We were hot. I thought I was going to pass out. I started getting cramps in my legs. Was I unprepared? Yes. Yes, that's what I do though. There was this one hill that must have been a mile straight up. I was drinking a lot of pickle juice. By the time we got to it was hard. At the stop that we finally made it to, I had a lot of pickle juice. We got water in our system, and then we finished. So we did finish. What I also learned is by the time we got in, the food was all gone. The party was all gone. It took us a while. We weren't prepared for as long as it was. The food was almost all gone. People cheer you a little bit. Most of the people are gone already, and I don't know. So that's another one where I went, okay, I've done 75 miles. At this point in my life where I'm not riding every day, that's good enough for me. One day, maybe. I still want to do a marathon. I might, once I do officially retire, I'm not there yet. Maybe I'll have more time to ride. Maybe I'll have more time to ride now. If I get my business up and running 6 hours a day, get my house remodel done, I'll have time to ride every day. Take my dog for a walk because I haven't been doing it and she's gaining weight. That's not nice on me. That's not good. She's depressed. I know she is. I need to start taking her every day again, which today I'm going to start. I'm going to start walking her and get some weight off and things like that. Weight off her. I'm doing okay. But walking's good for everyone, right? So okay, I think I'm going to wrap that up, everyone. Tomorrow I'm going to be doing it on moving forward, and I'm going to do some deep studying on foundations. So this is my thought. I know in the Bible that talks about, oh goodness, is it Hebrews? I think it talks about building your house on sand or rock, and when they're referring to house, your foundation, right? Yourself. Make sure you have a strong foundation built on rock so that I think if the wind or rain doesn't wash it away. I want to dig into that. I want to dig into what was going on at that time in history, as well as what the Bible's translation is. I also have looked into building a foundation on skyscrapers and how they're built and how they're reinforced. And I want to look into more of that. Also on trees and the actual history of the growth and really dig into it. I think it would be very interesting, right? So that's my thoughts. Maybe tomorrow I can just do the biblical part of it. I think it's going to be pretty incredible. But for today, I do need to get busy. I think I do have one last appointment. I'm doing what they call strength finders. It's pretty cool. Just kind of looks at everyone's strengths. Building a team is important, right? As a leader, it's a good idea to, and I think I might incorporate some of that in my challenge because I really like the idea of teaching others, and that's the professional development piece, what their strengths are. Because some people don't realize they have so many strengths, right? I've done enough of it that it's educated me, but also as a parent or a spouse, if you know what your significant other's strengths are, you can respect them more. You can respect your children and learn how do I mold, not mold, but how do I encourage my child to go in this way of their strengths? They can develop their weaknesses as well, whatever that may be. But how do I help to guide them in the way of their strengths? I think it's great. So I have the second session today, and I'm got that in at 10 o'clock. So I've got to finish that and then get busy on my house project because I got this done for today, and then start doing some research. So anyway, thank you once again for joining me. Someday I'm going to learn how to be able to take comments. I'm not sure how to do that. If someone comes on, I've got a lot of learning. I feel better. Thank you for letting me talk to you today about it. I hope this helps you. I hope, I don't know, maybe just by something I'm saying can help you in some way, Comment, subscribe, like, hit the bell. And when I post a new video, it'll come up. I notice that it's coming up in my email. So that's a good thing. So I am going to sign off for today. Hopefully I've been making eye contact. My daughter told me I need to do that. So thank you for following me. Thank you for enjoying this celebration day with me. And thank you for tuning in. So with that, I'm going to end it. Much love to all. Hasta mañana, I believe, is I'll see you tomorrow. I love languages, so I've got to learn some more Spanish. I do more Japanese than others. So, okay. Much love to you all. Have a wonderful day.